What would you do if you were given an exclusive business funding service where you can pay off your funding much faster and cheaper? You can refer other business owners in your network, relationships, or outside of that and get 2% on all fundings or 1% on employee retention credit. This way, you can pay off the remaining balance much faster, sooner, be able to get more additional funds. You already have early payment discounts that are the best on top of that. How to get up to 2 million incredibly fast in business funding, a business loans and alternatives out there. We'll talk about SBA EIDL, PPP, employee retention tax credit, and even how to get 0% interest for 6 to 18 months up to 150 if not 250K. Hi, this is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business loan expert. Perhaps you've heard me say that, but I help out a lot of businesses get the right type of financing under the right vehicle in a strategic partnership and the right roadmap for longer term. I've been in this so long that myself, I've received funding for my multiple businesses. That's right. I run multiple businesses. So I'm not just this person here spreading information. I'm doing a lot of things. And on the back end, working with the best lenders, underwriters, the right association. So you get the maximum, the best kind of financing for you, for your tier and what you need now, as well as longer term. There are a lot of people out there who overpromise, underdeliver, overwhelm you. That's an understatement. You shouldn't have to go through that. And yet again, getting emails, text messages, phone calls. Hey, do you want funding? Just send us an application and some statements, and then we'll get you a term sheet. Or, hey, send us this in, and then we'll collect this. It's overwhelming. You don't know who to trust, who to turn to. They might not be legitimate. Usually, they're not always best for you. You're applying to these online marketplaces thinking it's best for you, and so much more. So, I'm going to cover a few things on this exclusive partnership in just a second. And I'll also jump on the share screen to go over an article that I'm going to leave you guys down below, more of a blog post, one of the very first links or so. Click on that and it'll encompass everything you need to know about getting these term loan intermixes with an advance. If there's an alternative, can you even qualify for an SBA loan, equipment loans, what else is out there that is available, as well as my questionnaire form I will link you to down below, one of the first links, where if you fill that out, you'll get a very personalized and customized email response on your best funding option and options, thoroughly broken down bit by bit from an expert. Yours truly, pre-underwritten file. I know what the underwriters, the lenders are looking for. I know all of this. I've been in it long enough with each and every industry. I know the pain. I know the problems. I've seen them. I know the psychology. How? Because I've gone funding myself. I have businesses like you do, or one or multiple that you run. So I have to attend to those. But at the bottom line of this, and this is where I want to begin, it isn't the profit, what I mean by bottom line. And it isn't, I'm not talking about gross profits. I'm not talking about return on investment right now. What I am talking about is your character and your reputation. Perhaps you've seen the other content that I release. I may be releasing another one tonight or sometime this week on character versus reputation. I went on TikTok. I did a live to a good amount of people there. And if you were there, you'll know. So what I praise and I value very heavily is character. I don't want to go too deep into these two, but briefly, I have a lot of business owners, and you're asking, what does this have to do with business funding, Michael? Like, can't I just go get a loan, start an application? Go ahead, do it. It'll work, but it may not work. And what will end up happening is you're going to clash. You're going to cause a lot of friction. You're going to be causing a lot of resistance, the pulling of the band back and forth, and I want no part in it. And the reason being is because we shouldn't have to age like 20 to 30 years throughout the whole process, whether you got funding or not, trying to get feedback from you, not hearing from you. You may have gone on holidays or you may not have. You may have been in opposing views. You have your own belief that, well, if I didn't say anything, that should just go as like, I'm not interested. Well, that doesn't make sense in all cases. So when we take time to underwrite a file, and we go through this extensively, especially the higher documentation services, and we're not hearing from you, I want to hear from you, just some feedback. Just say, I'm not interested, or just something with a short sentence, a short word, not interested right now. Okay, fine. But going cold, that's not a good sign of character, of good character. So I've told plenty of people, I don't have to go out of my way to tell people that it happened, moved on. I did. I already moved on. But the thing is, I want to let people know where they're screwing up. I don't mind telling people that. And don't take it the wrong way if you're a business owner who has that problem, characteristically flawed. See, reputation is an image of who you are in your business, your brand, your services, your how you sell, your marketing, your own brand image. It could be personal image, personal brand, but majority of it is brand imaging, how you interact with those customers, what you're promoting, what maybe you're selling, maybe the culture, the environment, the equipment, everything you have that encompasses your reputation. It's how your employees see yourself. See what I'm saying? What does this have to do with business loan, Michael? Get into the 2%. I'll get into the 2% in just a second. And I've already created content on that. I'm going to leave you guys a link to in the description. And if there's no description right now because we're watching live, this is spontaneous, I'll put it there in time. And I'll try to put some things in the comments as we go along. I'm going to keep it short. I did it live earlier. And I'm not a huge video guy, contrary to popular belief. I do put out content out there like this, but I know it gives you a lot of value. And I'm on blogging. I'm doing other things too. So just so you know, reputation, brand image, and all these other things that encompass it, character, they can intertwine. They push one another, whether you start with one or the other or both. But ultimately, the foundational piece that the majority of business owners who come into an application, they don't even get started, or they get started, but then there's just like this whole process now where where'd they go? Not saying anything is bad. That's terrible. And I'm not just anybody. I'm not a robotic machine. I have feelings like people do. I don't get quote unquote emotional, or I'm not thin-skinned. I'm thick-skinned. I'm an introvert. I'm very cerebral. I know my stuff very, very well. Doesn't always require a phone call, but don't put me in an uncomfortable position, or my team. I'm just trying to get a hold of someone, just very simply, just, okay, just checking in, just doing my part. And I don't do it every day. I just want to check in. Where's a text? Where's a quick email? Doesn't always have to be a phone call. Are you giving that phone call after what's happened? Not always. I've had people who come to me who will still try to reach out to me. And I go, well, you kind of didn't exactly maybe burn your bridges, but you've lost that like respect. You kind of, and you don't take it the wrong way either. I'm sorry, but don't take it the wrong way. That's just the truth, right? It's just tough love. This isn't aggression. This isn't negativity. This is just tough love. And if you've been asking me, where have I been? I don't get on live as much. I've been really, really busy, like flooded, but I get on TikTok from time to time to do some lives, excuse me. Maybe Instagram, maybe a combination of certain platforms, maybe Facebook, etc. But you guys can find me on TikTok from once in a while with a great gathering of people who comment and are in there saying thank you. And I don't need to always hear that, but I appreciate it when you do. And I'm a very grateful and humble person. Just don't mistake my kindness for weakness. And if that's how you act over here, I can only imagine how you act in your business or businesses. Yeah, I'm strictly business oriented. Yeah. Reputation. But when you step outside of that, I can see those true colors a lot of the time, because it's not per se your business, but we're working on helping your business get funding. But you don't probably see this, but it's your character that I can also sense. It's your characteristics. You might have stubbornness. You might be not able to be punctual, disciplined. I have a million things, Michael, to do. You think I should just get back? Be respectful out of curiosity, out of courtesy. Simple, right? Let us know so we're not in the dark. That's it. That's all I ask for. If you turn the other direction, at least ask for it. You're asking for something that you deserve to hear, not for aggression, but just making sure. Hi, Ismail. How are you doing? I'm trying to make sense of that. Did you do a wave? Maybe the wave isn't showing the emoji. I've seen that in some platforms where I just try to paste something and it just doesn't show it. It spells it out. And think waving. Okay. But aside from that topic, let's get to the real topic at hand. So 2%. Okay. One more thing I got to mention, because I don't know if you guys will understand this really well. But yes, character, I didn't say this right now, but I want to get back. It's how people see you in your business, in your personal life, your personal connections, your spouse, your kids, extended family, close-knit, blood-related family. And it shows that transition into business. And I know as business owners, we don't work on ourselves. It takes work to look at the mirror or just look inside ourselves and say, hey, I need a change. It's me who's the problem. And it really is. And I was there. I've been there when I first got started, especially in entrepreneurship and business. I just try to make some money to help me. And I understood what value meant over that journey. I understood that to increase my revenue, increase my position, I have to change me. And not by any way was I bad. I just had to change certain little routines and habits. See, I went from the university system to working and working, and then boom, transitioning. So if I can do it, you can do it. It's not an age thing. Well, I don't have time. You have time. You have excuses, is what you have. Right now, what are you going to do? You're going to, when you get off of work, I'm just so tired. Yeah, you're tired, but you couldn't put in a 30-minute audiobook. You couldn't listen to that. You couldn't separate your energy and time from others for a little bit to work on yourself, because that makes a big difference when we go into an application. It makes all the difference. It's not going to always be a marathon or a sprint, but work with me. Excuse me, all I'm asking for is feedback. I'm going to go ask for it, or I'm expecting that. Can you give it back to me in 1 to 2 days? Hey, if I gave you all the information via email, do you think you can submit an application and have the document submitted in 1 to 2 days? Can you submit it by today? Or when do you think you'll be able to submit this? Well, I don't know. That's an excuse. And just give me a time frame. It's okay if you don't, but just say, hey, I'm going to get this application sent to you, but don't say you will and you don't do it. That's terrible. That's bad. That's horrible character. I could only imagine. And I could see credit. If I see credit 500, 600, I'm not saying that 700 and 800 is better, like morality, but it is. Credit is a moral thing. It's a characteristic thing. So if you're not able to pay your bills on time, you might not even be listening to creditors or debt collectors, or you have a lawsuit, and all these things are happening. And now you're bringing this character to me, and you're expecting an application. And do you see where this is all going, guys? I hope you can really understand. Okay. Appreciate you. Thank you as well. And so 2%. So you can earn 2% on all fundings as a quote unquote preferred customer for referring other businesses, other business owners, entrepreneurs in your network or not in your network. And this is post closing or post commission or post, you can call it funding. So whatever you receive, then you can share the word with someone else. So you're benefiting this and getting 2% on all fundings, or 1% on the employee retention credit. And this is a very exclusive partnership that I have with my network association and who I have and what I know, who I know, personal and business relationships. You think I go to those lenders and underwriters and behave wrong? You think I just mistreat them, or I don't communicate with them, even if I'm not interested in something that they wanted to bring up to me? You think I'm just going to ignore all that when they're expecting a response, when they went the extra distance for me? No. So why should you do that? Anything different? So I'm going to open up something in a different window here. I don't think you guys can see this, but I'll go into another tab here momentarily. 1 second. So this is a document here that I have with some bulletin points. So let me just cover more of this 2% just so I don't miss a beat. And I have it all up here. So I just want to make sure I use this as a guidance. And keep in mind, the remaining balance, you have early payment discounts. You already get 2% if you refer someone. So you're earning an amount of cash, or I like to call it cash credits as well. It's a big win. Nobody is doing this. Nobody, no other organization, lender network, partnership. And this is exclusive. And so again, this is a treat for you guys. And I have the best lenders and underwriters. So just imagine this. You get access to the best lenders and underwriters. I'll find the right one for you and your needs. And if there's something you have a question about, I know people have questions about good faith deposits with SBA loans or something, but if you're serious, you're serious. I want people who can apply, who are serious, not people who apply just to see what they'll get. It's fine if you want to see what you'll get for then later on. There's a place and time for it, but be congruent with what you're trying to do. And most importantly, give feedback. Hey, Michael, I'm not interested right now. Thank you, though. That's a person of good character. They have good morals. They have good values and virtues. I'm not even looking at their business. I mean, that could be a reflection, but I'm like, yeah, that person has good values. Awesome. Appreciate that. And even if you don't, hey, just go out of your way a little bit, Michael, because you want to continue that relationship with me. Believe me, that's going to carry on forever. And I'm an introvert, so it's hard for me to be trusting someone else. It's hard for me to open up like that. I get it, but there's no excuse. There's no substitute for that. So back to this document again that you guys can't see, but I'll go into another tab here in a moment. So as a business owner, or for business owners, entrepreneurs, etc., who participate will receive funds deposited to your bank account or bank accounts, along with the directions, kind of like a manual, not exactly like a physical manual, on how you can use those funds to pay down the balance with that specific provider slash lender slash merchant you are with, that you signed and dated the contract with, that we were then able to deposit the funds into your account. That provider is who you are attached with. And again, like I said, I get people the best lender and network of them. Believe me, there's direct lenders I have, and then there's direct lenders underneath the brokerage. This is the best way to do it right now, where I can go and say, we're going to protect your credit at the end of the day. We're not going to just shop it and hurt it and do anything like that. We're going to be contacted by everybody. That's not what's happening. I'm going to go and say 1 to 2. Okay. And my team too. Okay. 1 to 2. Okay. This one, underwriting looks good there. We can do this, but we really wanted this option. So now that person's seeing that, now we're bringing that person in and we're showing you, and you're getting the best early payment discounts, best terms, best rates for you and your needs, your maximum funding in your specific industry. You can't beat that. And then the relationship you have with me, a lot more benefits that come with that I haven't even mentioned right now, a lot more post. It is phenomenal stuff. So back to this document here. So you'll get that if you choose. You don't have to promote it. You don't have to send it out to another business owner. You could just put a link on Facebook, or you could just talk about it and say, hey, this Michael guy who I've received funding with, he does really do care. You can say whatever you like, personally and in business. And he will really go the extra miles. And just know this. You don't have to say this. He's very punctual and he's very disciplined. So I'm not a robotic machine. And I expect feedback, right? If you expect that from your kids, if you expect something from your spouse, why would you do it anything different? You're not treating me like anybody close. You're just thinking of me as somebody who wants to get money from you. That's not what it is. I'm not in this for the money. Have you been following me from the very beginning? My drive, my purpose. So I'll have a video for you guys down below. I might talk about my story towards the end, but down below, I'll leave one in time when there's a description there for my viral story and where I began. So you can learn more about me and know that it's not money related for me. It's deeper. It's way deeper. And that's how you should look at things in your business and what you're doing. And then out as an outcome, that ends up happening. That's literally my focus, is the value and everything that I can provide. Excuse me. So in this document, again, I said, if you choose. So with this program, you can even earn more. Listen to this again. You can even earn more than you owe. So the remaining balance, as opposed to what you earned on that client that you referred and they got funding, you could earn more than what you have in the remaining balance and more. And you can apply that to pay it off much faster. That cash that you have now, boom, pay it off. Use it for something else if need be. Boom, done. Referred, boom. You can do it multiple times. Get funding again, refer. Boom. Now you have your network association, and it's a triple effect. And what's happening is you're benefiting extensively, and I'm benefiting as well. And I'm helping out the business owners who don't know what they're doing, just applying anywhere and everywhere. Can't get accepted by a bank. And like I said, I have those best personal and business relationships with them. You think they would continue to come back to me and get me the best? Like, there's other brokers and agents out there, but they know how far they can go with me because of how I treat them, and I know them. So don't treat me just like somebody you could put in a trash can or some piece of paper on the street just waving away. What is that? Why would you treat somebody like that? And so over here, when you opt into this program, this Connect Cash, you will be then added to my database as a preferred customer. So preferred customer normally means when you get funding, it becomes a preferred customer and you're in my database. And this is very safe and secure stuff, guys. This isn't like, there's nothing wrong with that. And over here, let me make sure, I want to make sure I don't miss this part. Okay, so let me go into how you can opt in. So you get an invitation to respond back to. There could be a referral code or a referral link from my organization or the organization that I'm partnered with, or you can visit a specific link that we can send you to sign up to get your referral link. Very straightforward, fast, doesn't take long at all. And then once you have opted in, you will be then added to the database as a preferred customer, and will be given an ID number and website to share. You might be able to get one too, This preferred customer classifications is something else from my end that I'm reading on now in my notes. But that is the gist of that. Now I'm going to transition into some EIDL stuff, and then I'm going to go into the tab to go over a specific blog post or that I put together where you guys could refer to. Now, I get it. If you're in here, you're busy, you got to go. I get it. That's fine. People are always like, give me a phone call, give me a call. Calls are not always necessary. I have systems, I have processes, I have automation. So if I'm doing things, I want to make sure it's as fluid, energy, and time effective as possible. I want to make sure I'm weeding out the people who are not serious at all, now or in the future. I want to make sure that that call is most effective. And it doesn't mean you have to get funding now. It's not anything about emotions, because I love that and creating waves, but it has to make sense. That's why people are always like, I want to call. That's why I have people fill out my questionnaire form. And I'm going to put this questionnaire form right now in the bio or in the description, in the comments of this video. 1 second. So in that questionnaire, you can fill it out and you'll get a very personalized and customized email response for your best funding option and options, thoroughly broken down from an expert who knows their stuff, somebody who's real with you, not somebody who's over promising or delivering you just to make it sound sweet, and then you'll then be bait and switched. Unless you want that, unless you want to be continuously treated that way, go ahead. But if you want to finally stop making those mistakes or not make any of it, I preach this over and over again. Make the right decision. There's a lot to this funding world. It can be very shady, very ruthless. You guys don't even know what I see on my end. Like, I share with you guys content on this stuff, but there's a lot more. There's stuff that just can't be revealed that way. And so mitigate those risks by connecting with the right individual. So SBA EIDL, not a lot moving there. There's been people who have been asking me, what would I see in an extension if there were one? I would see one up to about another year of an extension. There's been talks, but it's not been concrete. There's still stuff in the back end that I have to gather from SBA and so forth, but it's not as concrete right now, and it's speculation. So when something does come out, I will keep you guys up to date. Believe me on that. The EIDL increase reconsideration for those of you in the queue, that's another step. There's been talks, but it's not really concrete. There's been a lot of movement in other forms, especially with the hardship accommodation plan, things that are helping people right now to be able to lower your payments 6 months or so. But as in terms of now we're expecting this, there are grant opportunities, of course, through the SBA microloan, other ones community advantage program. You have other microloan nonprofit, for-profit organizations, and you have the SSBCI, the State Small Business Credit Initiative program. You have CDFIs, a little bit more community oriented, a little bit harder, but a lot of these can prepare you for getting a loan, for becoming an entrepreneur, not just a business owner, but an entrepreneur as well. Gerardo, how are you doing? Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. I apologize if I haven't replied back to you. I've seen you. Do know that. This is a testament, guys, what I'm about to say too. I'm not ignoring Gerardo. He was an amazing person. Damn, he's an amazing person. Literally. Like, I know will go the extra mile. He knows me now. He knows my sincerity. He knows my background. And without going too far into all of this, I do take care of each person. Just so you guys know. It's just I get flooded sometimes. And there are people who are out there who are pretenders. People who, like I said in the beginning of this video, there are pretenders, there are action takers. I could tell before somebody says a word, I really know somebody's character, literally. Gerardo can be a testament to the video content he's created on me and some of the things that he's already heard, but I can tell from somebody's voice before a word. I can hear it in the breathing. I can hear it in the tonality. You guys can't imagine when I do get on a call with someone, I'm like, hi, and I say their name. This is Michael, the business loan broker. How are you doing? Like, very sincere. And they go, hi, I'm doing good. I could tell, like, and then the second, it's not the first sentence, but it's the second. It's a pause. It's the expression of that pause. It's the breath in that pause. And it's what they say next. It's very revealing. Not all cases. Sometimes we're busy and doing things. We're down, we're sick, but I can sense it. And it's even worse when somebody says, hey, I'll send the documents, I'll do this, and they don't do it. That's a breach of their character. That's what it is. And they don't really know it, or they do. It's been doing it for so long. It's automatic, and it takes time to change these things, and it's time for you to do it. So SBA EIDL, not a lot moving there. Grant opportunities are out and available. How's everything with the grant opportunity, Gerardo? How was everything with the microloan and the process there? And where are you right now currently? I will try to get back to you as soon as I can, as well as move you up to the highest of the priority. But feel free to send me a quick email update if and when you are ready. But just, quick follow-up, or I can do things on my end. But like I said, nothing happening with the SBA EIDL right now. SBA 7A 504 loans, those are available up to 5 million. There's a 10A, 510A, 504. You can get up to 22 million, but in the market, it's fluctuating like up to 5 million a lot. So when you're looking for commercial real estate, land, real estate, converting land to ground up construction to then commercial property mortgages, guys, I'm doing them all. Like literally, I am focused. I'm in the trenches going to battle. And if you guys can't respect that from somebody who knows their stuff, you're just diddling around. You're like, I told you this. Now our next communication should have been this. Where were you? I've been on vacation, but okay, thanks for telling me. Some people will tell me, Michael, hey, I'm going on vacation for a week, but I will have your emails. I will get that submitted. Where are they? Where have they gone? Do I have to be a baby and telling you, hey, can you get it done for me in a week? You only know if you needed it, you would act on it if it were important enough. What you're saying to me is I'm not important to you. That's what it is. That's not the application. What you're saying is I'm not important to you. That's fine. If you don't have that with me, it's okay. I'm not maybe for you. Go away. But if you have that with me, or you want to develop that with me, and you want to work with the best, right now I should be doing things on LinkedIn. Right now I should be reaching out to a few people. But I'm here on this live with you. Do you guys understand that? You guys are with me. You guys could be doing something else. But for about 26 minutes, I think it shows. My screen lighting is covering it. We are here right now in the freaking flesh. And if you don't like tough love, you think, oh, this guy's being negative. This guy's being aggressive. Oh, my God. Francis, Jerome, Carlos, look at this guy. Get a load of him. The truth is, I'm willing to put myself in an uncomfortable position to go the extra mile for you. Can you say that about yourself and your own employees? Boom, bomb drops right there to you. So you might not. Okay, PPP loans, not existent. No open application, similar to EIDL, fraudulent activity, millions and billions. There's more stories, horror stories, laundering, using them for homes and everything else, cars, and you guys couldn't even imagine. I can go even deeper into these stories, but let's segment into the next topic. And I'm going to keep you guys up to date on all this. So appreciate you. Thank you, Gerardo. And he doesn't have to say that. He knows this. It goes without being said. I think it's also a testament for others to see that Gerardo is here along the way. Great man, heard his story, and it sits with me. Him, I remember like very closely, literally. And that's an introvert telling you, right? And so that sits with me with what he's doing, how he's trying to get ahead in his business, publishing his books, and doing what he has to do to provide for himself, for his family. I have had clients who tell me, like Gerardo has told me, I'm not going to get into his story, but examples of people getting deeper. I've had phone calls with people who are at court, people with divorces, with marriage structures, with kids problems. And I'm there. I'm here to hear it. You don't have to. And I'm not going to ask you to open up. Like, I get that. Like, again, I'm one that you have to peel the onion back one layer at a time too, before I even weep as well. So non-existent, 0% interest for 6 to 18 months. That's a business credit card stacking program where you could literally get 0% interest with no collateral, no docs supplied. Now, when they would ask for docs, normally they wouldn't. Like if you have a business, like it would benefit you and behoove you to supply a tax return if they would have asked for it, or a numerous amount of bank statements, because it could benefit you. Extra material always goes the distance. Now, that will go a long ways. Of course, cards are more harder pulls than they are soft. So just understand which card you're looking at. And you can liquidate at that point when you have stronger credit at 680 and above on all 3 consumer credit bureaus. That's for the credit line hybrid. Then you can look at more of a form of liquidating that cash out of that credit and use it for more investments, or put it back into the bank for a rainy day or for whatever other projects, cash flow, etc. Right? Now, you don't have to wait to have a 680, but it will change your life. I went into this and I thought, well, if I just have a business credit card, I can get one with like a 650, 625 back in the day, before I was getting the way higher 750, 800s. And It's not just about getting the number, it's about keeping that. And so you always want to take on good debt as opposed to your bad debt. I know people say this, but it's the truth. Just make sure you understand how to use these funds. And if you don't have a need for it, let me know up front too. But when I ask for feedback, my team is working diligently. Like, where have you gone? You've gone cold, ghost. I don't just leave it at that. You're working with somebody who will challenge you. I will even challenge you in your character. And don't take it the wrong way. Take that as a lesson. Like, damn, this mother effer really does care about me. And I don't cuss. Take that. If you don't take it like this guy cares about my well-being, it's not in a negative way. If you see it in the wrong way, this needs to switch. That already tells me how you think and how you compartmentalize. So now let me jump into the employee retention credit, and then I'll get into the tab for a specific post that I want to show you. I'm going to link you guys to in the description. Employee retention tax credits, up to $26,000 per employee in a refundable payroll tax credit given through from the Treasury Department, CARES Act. There's a few other implementations underneath different administration and different public roles. But anyways, so for qualified wages per quarters of 2020 and 2021, we can look back into 2019 as well, see what's happened there, what inflections and so forth. But per quarter, let's say you have 200 employees, okay, on what qualified wages per employee. So we look at per quarter on what you're able to do and produce. And this is a program for you for being able to retain employees as well and being able to have them on your payroll. It's backed and given by the government. You thought I was going to say yours truly, but maybe you didn't. But this is given back to you as a reward. Hey, John. Hey, Sally. Here you go. $26,000 up to $26,000 per employee, and it breaks up that way, $7,000, $5,000 per quarter. I'm not going to get into the numbers right now, but per qualified W-2 wages for also having a partial or full shutdown, a government mandate that was out of your control, even if you didn't have that, and you could still qualify on W-2 wages. And even if you have the PPP loan, you can still do that in a conjunction. So there's different timelines to all this. And for a supply chain disruption, a supply chain issue, truckers out there, those in construction and many other transportation and other roles as well, not just those. But that on top of another few, but I'll leave that in the description so you guys can see all the qualifications. And there's a video likely you'll see of me like talking through and walking you through it. And there'll probably be a button you can click on and go over there and then start the process. I'll walk you through that video what to do. You normally don't have to get on a call with me because it's all there. Literally. Maybe clarity wise, or hear my voice, but this is me in the flesh. It's me, guys. Michael. And so now let me jump away from that and get into the share screen here, and then I'm going to close up shop 1 second. And at any moment, please feel free to comment. Head out of the, I'll get back to you. I haven't seen your comment yet, but let me jump into a share screen here. 1 second. I don't say this lightly. This is the only post, maybe on my site. I'm not going to say the most value you'll always get from it, but it'll be the one blog post where you can refer to anything and every question you'll really have about getting unsecured, secured term loans, or other options available. And if you don't even take the time to diligently read this post, and I'm telling you right now, it's right here. I'm going to show you a specific lender. I'm going to show you specific services. If that lender doesn't work, there's an alternative to that. As you're seeing here on the screen, I'm going to walk you through it rather lightly, but I'll leave it again down below in the description. There's an introduction, table of contents. You can even read there. Boom, boom, boom. Go through it. Come down here. What is the name of that lender? You'll see there. As you can see on the screen, I won't start putting all the names out right now, but you can see that. Like, what does it take for different industries? Okay, read through it. What are the qualifications? For this specific service, I want you to be doing at least $5,000 in a month, and on your lowest month, $5,000. 6+ months in business, 550, but we can work with a 450 and above credit with better average daily bank balances. You need a business checking account. There's another service with a personal checking account. I think I have it listed here in this post where you can refer to. If you don't have that, then we can refer to that option, and I'll show you the process of how that works. But again, I don't want to read. I don't want to watch 2 minutes of this video, let alone an hour of a video. I just want him to get on a call with me and, just tell me. And I can give you all that on a phone call, but are you going to remember it? Will you then act on it? Yeah, let's take 1 to 2 calls every single week and continue talking about it. Be real, guys. And so you need a business checking account, business entity, LLC, or corp or sole proprietor is fine, 1099, okay. But a lot of the times you'll be asked for social security number to provide or EIN, but majority of it is SSN related. Please be upfront with that. I know you have maybe things where you just bought a home or a car underneath your personal name. This shouldn't have an inflection necessarily on that. Maybe debt to income will come a factor, and some few recent inquiries where maybe, I don't know, there's something that was derogatory. That's when we start looking at it a little bit deeper, when it is a combined factor and there's one thing that can make a big difference. But when you're looking for it as in terms of revenue base, we're looking at your bank statements, 3 months of bank statements, a copy of your driver's license, and a voided check. Literally, that's a lot of the times what you'll need. Sometimes it varies depending on industries and states. So minimal non-sufficient funds, that's NSFs for shorts, negative days, no more than 5 non-sufficient funds or negative days in any of the last 3 months. All industries, they are welcomed, with an exception that, sometimes much more higher of a risk and how you're wanting to use your funds. That's also important. Online banks, that is most acceptable is Square. All else like Money Line, Found, and others won't work. So get a traditional bank, get an online bank that is not those, as well as a few other ones. When people come and apply and they go, well, I wanted to apply and you did. No. Listen, Linda. Listen, Karen. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully, by the way. That's like, listen. That's just giving you guys a mental image of what it could be or sound like. Sometimes you don't know because you don't have that. People don't educate you to understand what it takes to actually get a business. So, man, you're like, Michael, you're making this more overwhelming than it needs to be. No, I'm not. It's what it has to be. Aren't you guys tired of going through people who are going to overpromise they don't even care about you. Most of them. Most of them care about making money for their business. Yeah, I get that. But where's that relationship where you can say, hey, I can turn to Michael. He knows his lender networks. He knows his underwriters. He knows he has a team that's far beyond what other people have. And I'm going to work with you and I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you additional benefits, bonuses, everything that comes along with this in the process that you're not getting somewhere else. But because my ego, my stubborn, my way of doing things, I don't want to change that. Or, you know what? I'm going to go against what he's saying. Go against the grain. Go find out for yourself. It may not work in your best interest, but you're going to come back and find out that you should have done things differently and you would have rather been more comfortable knowing this than somebody bait and switching you or telling you something different. So just get that in. So the Chases, the Wells Fargos of the world, the Truists, that's a good one to go with. Go with Truist, guys, if you guys are not banking with them. And sometimes I have multiple banks. So I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of what happens in the application right now if you have multiple banks, but we'll want to look from those accounts. Current loan consideration. If you have a current capital advance in the amount still owed, will be taken into consideration and cause a reduction in the approval amount. More funds, second positions may be available, and this is for a specific lender. Another one would be second to fourth positions may be available. P.S. If you need a third position or even a fourth one, there's a bigger tier service down below if you qualify for it with stronger revenue. That's why this post is really everything you need to see. Uncollateralized, even collateralized, and some other options. PPS, if you think by getting more advances, it should increase your rate or decrease your rate and increase your terms as well as get you more funding than your current positions, balance taken into consideration. If we can come into the second position, pay off your first position, that's a different concept. You are hugely mistaken. Usually, and more specifically, taking your remaining balance as well as your profile into consideration, your rates could be higher and terms could be lower with more positions. Tell me, who gives you guys this information? Who are you guys finding this out from? Oh, I can go research it online. I can go find it online, but I can go even deeper into each and every one of these bulletin points. So now let me pause here and come to the comments. Appreciate you. Thank you for the quick follow-up, Gerardo. And for everybody who doesn't know or does, he's working on the SBA microloan with finishing his business plan with the score template. That's a great one to use, of course. I helped out a guy the other day with this. But yeah, stuck on the cash flow part. Understandable. I know your situation. Balance sheets, of course. I mean, there's not a lot to report on your balance sheet. That's another thing. Sometimes they'll ask for, especially with like SBA loan stuff, figuring out. Right. You're saying to not completely put your personal side into your business. I get that. Yeah. And you guys are seeing it right here. I'm taking time to mentally think through what Gerardo has said and anybody else. I remember that. Good. How long have you been doing it for? I know how it starts. You end up walking. You end up like crawl. You like feel like you're walking, like crawling on the sidewalk. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to walk, and it's like so much pain. It feels like your knees are hurting. It's like you're scraping the ground. But once you get up, you first crawl, and then you walk, and then you walk faster. I say, and then you start to jog a little bit, and then you pick up the pace, and then now you find yourself you're running. So that's good. I appreciate you doing that. Keep it up. Keep up the hard work. It does a lot up here. Today it's Wednesday, so I'm gonna go out. It's cold today. I might just put on some warm clothes and then go out and jog to myself later on, or I might do it here, a good in-house workout. But again, you guys don't understand this, or you maybe do, but release this up here. Release what you got. My dad does it. He goes out on walks. He hasn't done it lately because he has a foot injury, toenail injury or toe. It's fine, but he's not one to give up. He's not one to say, hey, I'm gonna just give in. He's gonna go and do it later. He's gonna go do things. Call him in. How's he doing? And then boom, boom, boom. Simple. Mom. Boom. Family. My younger brother. Boom. You gotta stay up to date on this kind of stuff. Anthony, how are you doing? Welcome into the chat. So let's go back into this post. This is funny. I have the Apple Watch that I was able to get through my brother, my younger brother. And I just said, it said here, Anthony, how are you doing? And then it responds back with, I'm fine, comma, thanks, period. Sometimes it does that. If you know, you know. So now let's go back into this post and we'll move this out of the way, Anthony. And then, so for this specific service, approvals are amounted up to 75% of your monthly revenue. Keep in mind, guys, that you guys can come back and get additional funds if you don't get enough. So let's take the example of you getting in 10,000 monthly revenue, or we take a lot of the times your lowest out of the last three in a lot of these services. We can do an average, but a lot of the times it's lower. We can compare the two. So you get advanced 7,500 at most. You probably started with 6,500. You have a few things on your credit. You have a few debt obligations or depositing frequency, etc. So we determine maybe you get 6,500 to begin with. And these are 4 to 6 month terms. You can get it paid back in 30 to 60, 90 days or throughout the duration. But if you pay it off sooner, you save on interest, of course, and there are early payment discounts. Now, the payment may be a bit higher if you paid it off in 30 days. You might get like a $400, $300 a day, $200 a day or so payment. But the bonus side is that you paid it off faster, you saved on interest. And if you're kind of that speedster and you know how you're going to use your money, you're going to say, Michael, I can pay it off in 30 days. I don't care about paying $300 a day. I'm going to take the 7,500 or 6,500. I'm going to make it 12,500. I'm paying back and 8,500, 9,500 on that. I made 13,500. That's how a true business owner thinks, not this whole scarcity. I need to survive. I get it. Your survival mode. I need money for COVID relief. But if you don't you're not going to justify paying a $300 a day repayment. Let's just get that out of the way. You're looking for something that doesn't exist. Go work with PayPal working capital. That may or may not work. You're going to get similar stuff. So you're looking for something in crowdfunding. You're looking for something with credit. Where's your credit? You haven't even brought up your credit. Okay. We don't have collateral. Credit, cash flow, collateral. What do you have? All three? None of the three? One of the two? Two of the three? One of the three? Which one? And so I can work with all that and I have everything I need to know about it. Usually it's daily because monthly can cause defaults and we don't want to give you a huge lump sum at the end of the month that you cannot pay off. You have other debt obligations, monthly projections. You have business credit cards, personal credit cards. Look at Gerardo. He's separating his personal and business credit. So he's going to understand this even more deeper. I've been through this, Gerardo. So you're going to see it. And you're going to be looking back at this video and everything else you've done. And you're going to say, damn, like it does make sense. And I can see it because I've had people, I help people get business credit cards too. Separate their personal and business. And I've had a lady not too long ago, I've had people every single day who come to me for that too. And I say, hey, what is your plan to use with your business credit? So vendor credit, credit lines. Let's work on the two. Installment loans, revolving lines of credit. So before you go into a bank or you do this online, this is how it works. You want to have this documentation. Although they may not ask for it, having a plan, a business plan in place does help better. Now, you may have different numbers, personal business, on your personal account. You may be using that to leverage your business credit. Sure, to get access to those business credit cards more so. And you can sometimes get 5 times the amount, if not equal to. But people ask why they don't get enough because I'm not building enough business credit or I'm not building enough history in my credit, enough trade lines. That's a huge component, your trade lines, not new, but aged trade lines over a year, over 2 years better. So over here, we take into account fluctuations. I'm not going to go into all this, guys. You guys can see this down below, and I might have a video for it. The application process, fill out a small business funding details, pre-approval page. You'll get loaned the amount, and you can either accept it or deny it. You can do an online banking with not Decision Logic. It is through Plaid software, and it's very legitimate. And when people come to me and they go, so you're telling me I got to link my bank? Well, if you're not generating higher revenue, like think about it. Every underwriter, it cannot be on every file. If there are a lot of these getting submitted, how can they spend underwriting meticulously every one of these? So they have to work with higher revenue businesses, and they take more time. So when you go through the process here within this lender, this I believe is the best for that level and for certain levels, and we might have more, but link verification or bank verification, submit it, choose your bank, submit it, boom, done, checks it right then and there, boom, in and out the door. Will it work? Okay, you can accept it, but we might have to do a credit check and something comes out in the background, or we after further upon review, we go, we cannot accept this, you've been denied. That's what happens. Why does it happen? Because you're in a tight pinch and because you just never worked on your credit. So I'll get into the staircase analogy or the staircase concept, a blueprint for you guys to walk away with at the end of this. We've gone over time, so I'm going to try to end this before an hour. Let's get into this. So add your business information, business revenue verification, update your offer, fill out owner information, upload your driver's license, upload a voided check, done. Your loan is ready to transfer to your bank account. I don't know, it sounds so simple, and it is. It's not always easy, but you have to have the qualifications to match that. So you can start there, and if it's asked for, you can enter my information if need be, and there are a lot of advantages of coming through me, of course, like I said in the beginning, and I sincerely say that. Now, there's 1099 self-employed contractor gig worker service, and I'm going to add a little bit more to this, but what you want to do is click on that link, and it'll take you over there to learn more about it, because if you don't have the qualifications for that, okay, you have that other one. Now, is there a forgiveness loan? Okay, well, how are we going to forgive it? So recently, I made content on defaults. I think I'm going to upload that if it's not already another part. You default, there's this lawsuit thing where you think that the company, there's sometimes the company who's at fault. Other times it's you who's in a lawsuit. I have had people right now who have proven they can take on funding, but you have a default and judgment in place. This was just last year. We found upon further review, soft approval, soft credit checks, and these, like, why didn't you make the payment to the creditor, to the debt collector, to the lender, to the funder, the merchant? What went wrong there? I had to file bankruptcy. Well, was the bankruptcy a cause from you having a default and you had no other choice? Or what was it? You had too much overhead expenses? Like, what is the reasoning? And so there's only one or two lenders out there who will be able to pardon that and say, I can get you funding again. But don't be mistaken that if it happens, it doesn't always come back again. It's not simple to find that. And I have those. And I have the ones that are forgiving. I've had somebody who I submitted, and sometimes people don't even tell me they have defaults. You can't always tell me you have that because you feel sensitive. You feel like you're being judged. Nobody wants to go apply for something already to get a business loan. You think you want to apply for a business loan? No. That's just what you need to do. And you know how you're going to use that money. Triple, quadruple, double your revenue. Keep you above your overhead, where your revenue is, you're increasing your margins. That's what you want. As your margins are increasing for your revenue, your what do I call it? The debt or the overhead expenses. And I call it negative increase. I put negatives on it. That's how I systematically do it. But when you put plus next to your gross profit margins and you're going like this, you're going to start to see it, how it separates you from your expenses, and you're now going to become profitable and more profitable. I've seen businesses, and I've helped businesses go from 20 to 40%, 45%, and that's a high amount. And if you're in that range of like 15 and above, you're doing well. So even less than that, it's fine. We're all at different stages. Now let me transition back into this, and then we'll close up. It's customer service, reviews there, BBB stuff. No, not lawsuit against them, but on the client, they have the wrong interpretation of that. And be careful about whose reviews you see, because sometimes other people and other organizations are trying to batter others. But who's it for, who's it not for, pros and cons, a lot more pros literally than there are cons. There's an alternative there, which I'm going to get into now. So if you needed more than the 25K or the 35K, there's this other location here. So that's the advantage. You saw that in the beginning. So current loan consideration, more or less 500 plus FICO, 4+ months in business, 15,000 plus per month, sometimes 20, sometimes 30, depending on the service. But this one's for 15,000 and above. Open business checking account must be in the name of your business, not a personal account used for business. I'm not going to go through each and every one of these. I'll leave you guys this, and you may have known this, and I may have already sent something like this similar to you if you filled out the questionnaire. You have seen it with some adjustments perhaps since then. Only fundable bank, online, Square. All else like Moneyline, Found, and others will not work since they can't process the ACH part and even the decision logic bank verification part. So get a traditional bank, get an online bank that does actually work. Current loan consideration, I already went into that. Second to fourth positions can be available with this, but the approval amounts, just be wary. If it's not an EIDL loan, or if it's an EIDL loan, we don't usually directly impact that when you come get an unsecured term loan and advances. This is an intermix, guys, of a term loan, which is more so between 12 to 24, 12 to 10 years, 12 months to 10 years. There's intermixes. So there's the advance, which is highly popular, and that's what I have a lot of people get into. That's the one where it's a term loan intermix with a hybrid advance or cash advance. So 12 to 24 months, advances between 3 to 8 months generally, but it's been pushed out 3 to 11 months. So it's an intermix. It just depends on what you can qualify for. And if you don't want to go through that because of the rates, it's not about the rates. It's about the benefit exceeding the repayment. I've said it 100,000 times, and I'll continue to say it so you can get it in your head. And if you don't want me to say that again, so be it. You need to hear it. Otherwise, you're going to go your own way, and you're going to just try to think what you want to think, and it's not going to be the way. Trust me, I've been at this so long enough. I know. I haven't even had, literally, guys, I've only had water today. I skipped out on breakfast, but I'm doing well. So let's go back on this. So examples I gave you, I'm not going to go into that, but let's say you have one position with 30K remaining, and here I had to look at another tab, and you haven't paid over 50% of that balance on that position. You're not even closer to 100%. Then potentially it could be reduced by 10 to 20,000 for your second position, even by a little bit more. So you may only get 15 to 20,000 for that, or from 7 to 15,000 in that circumstance. So just keep that in mind. And I'll have a default with another advanced loan company, regardless of how long ago it is. And that goes back to the default judgment in place. And even if you defaulted, by the way, no lender is going to just lend you a line of credit. It's going to be hard enough to get you a lump sum again, and unless they know, and you have to build eligibility, credibility underneath them, they're going to. So when you default, getting a line of credit, whether it's an A tier, B tier, whatever client that is, or lender, I should say, and client, a lot of the times they won't lend to you, even though you've proven. They just don't want to take that risk on you, and that's just how it goes. And it's hard because you got to know how you use your money. Stop taking money just to survive on it. Take money when you really need to grow on it. All right? So when that happens, you are in a lawsuit. You're in a lot of pain. You're trying to get over this, but you're just drowning in even more debt. And you just got to understand your business better and structure it where you're not biting off more than you can chew. It's self-explanatory. Like I can go into a business and I can look at it because I've worked with businesses, and I go in there and I look at it. And as an employee at one point too, was working underneath businesses where I was looking at all the budgeting, the spreadsheets, and I was saying to myself, why are they allocating only so much inventory here for this customer when they should have been doubling down on that? Instead, they went away from this for a year and they started focusing on another demographic, psychographic, when they should have been focusing on this and this service from them to generate the most and higher lifetime value of that customer, how long you can retain them, and so forth. So I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of the formulas to all that. That could probably be another video for another time. But once you default, and it's hard. And I know a lot of business owners don't understand that, but that's just the reality. Background checks. If your background report comes back with a criminal record or past financial issues, and past UCC filings can be an issue. UCC ones, I mean, sometimes we can overlook that. It'll be fine, especially when we're not looking at collateralizing options. Then it can be an automatic decline. But if we know your past history, we go, hey, that person, they worked on themselves. They're good. They've proven. They've actually even probably taken funding, or they show that they can make their payments on their credit and everything else. Like, okay, we're good. Yeah, we can work with that. They learn from their mistakes. Fine. Another issue is financial fraud, past default, and past default judgment in place or current default judgment in place. Submitted altered bank statements to another lender. Other issues, there are many more, like credit, false information on credit, reporting wise, a lot of stuff that can go wrong. There's just some of them right there. Okay, data merge, you can end up there. That's not a good thing from the lenders. They know you now. You're on their watch list. How much you can get with that service? 75% to 200% of your monthly revenue. Sometimes it's 100 to 200% with better balances. But there it is. Exclusive partnership. You can learn more. Why is your total payback medium to high? I don't want to go into that, but I'm going to show you guys everything there. You guys have any objections to that and you're not happy with it? Well, that's the reality. Rate calculations. How do we determine our rates and underwriting? You're going to see all that right there and why it is you're getting the terms and rates you're getting. And that's just standard. And I work with the best, guys, just so you guys know this. This isn't no fluff. Underwriting guidelines continued. Who else can tell you that? They show you this. Look at that. They show you guys this. And that's coming from me. That's not coming from another person's blog post or somebody else's video. This is insider stuff that you just don't get shown. Some of it may give you it, but you're not going to know all that unless you see a review like that. How amazing is that? Would you be happy knowing that? I know now, like I know this is the right application. I have the expectation. I know what I'm going to get. That's my underwriting. That's where I'll fall. And there's a little bit more on my back end that I'm doing work on to get it even more precise, even with bank statements and so forth. But you get to see, oh, damn, like now I know why I wasn't getting 25,000. God, this guy just told me everything, man. Jesus. And he cares about me. Literally takes the time to. Can you guys say that about everybody? You guys going to go meet that Wall Street guy from New York who's going to just chirp in your ear, sound like a natural salesman? If sales is your thing, it's your thing. It's not mine. I mean, I guess this is sales, but I'm not like that. I've learned the marketing skills. I've learned those sales skills, but I'm not going to like do that. I'm not going to just make it sound good just to sound good. Has to make sense. So back to this, and we're going to close up here in just a second. I know we're getting close to the hour. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. And I'll go back to the comments in a moment. So what you need to know there, underwriting and step for step, early payment discounts explained. Look at that. I go even deeper on the early payment discounts, and there's still more I'm going to add to that. More stuff we're coming out with. Oh, man. Can you stop making payments? Well, no, obviously not. But if you have an economic hardship or something happening, we'll be reasonable with you. And you can say to us, hey, I'm falling back on something, or I'm going to fall back. Before you fall back, hey, can I just reduce the amount per day? We'll work with you to try. Sometimes it doesn't work exactly. It has to be more reasonable, but a lender can try to do that. And we know you're going through some hardship, so they might extend the term a little bit, maybe drop your repayment in your daily, weekly, or whatever that may be you're at. But you can get weekly or daily. Monthly does not exist because you could default. There are two, merchant cash advance or hybrid cash advance, because this is what it is. It's encompassing all revenue. It's not a traditional merchant cash advance. This is actually better. And they're going to say, hey, we can get them a monthly, but they can't just have minimum revenue. They just can't have minimum credit, sufficient funds, NSFs, negative days, and more. They realistically like 50,000 and above, but 100,000, six figures, even six figures is not enough because they don't want to take that chance, even if you don't have no credibility. And so there's a lot more that they look at, and we look at in the behind the scenes. So back to this topic. And weekly micropayments is actually better. This way, sorry, I was getting a call. I'll have to call them back here. This way, you're not having to fall back on like not being able to make your payments. Weekly, micro, even micro is daily. Daily can help you. There are business owners who come to me who they say, hey, I don't want weekly micro. They can qualify for it, but they go, I prefer daily. Literally, people who take 200, 300,000, 400, let's do a daily instead because I can understand my sales, and they understand their sales. So it's more convenient for them as opposed to somebody who doesn't. So they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing in sales per day, per every other day, et cetera. They know what's taken out. They know what they can afford. So personal guarantees, of course. I'm not going to get into that right now, guys. If you guys are saying no personal guarantee, more of it will be described in there. Just know I've said this in the past, of course, until you get to a point, especially with business credit cards and other ways, no PGs, like, come on. And so you have to be personally liable and accountable. Why would you not? You could just shut off an account and think that that's it, or go bankrupt or foreclose or whatever you're trying to do, and then that's going to solve everything. That follows you and your name and your other entities, especially if you change your name, etc. How to get started, pre-qualification, you complete the application, and then you submit the documents. You can send them over to me via email. So I'm going to close up here in a second. You can send them to me. Sometimes I ask for them via email. I'll organize them, Google Drive, Dropbox, or usually Drive. And then I'll put your file. You guys can imagine how many files I have, and I know each person. So I can go in there, look at it. I analyze it, evaluate it. I'll look at it even more thoroughly. Okay, this is my lender. This is who I need to go to for this specific person. I know what to do now. I'm working on the back end. You guys don't see it, but we're working on the back end now, trying to get those underwriters to get this taken care of. And then that lender knows me. And there's so much on the back end, guys. I don't want to get into it all. And I can't necessarily give a lot of weight to because of what they asked for. But let me go back into this and we'll have to close up here in a second. So you submit it, you can send it to me. You can send it online too. It's by that I mean like an upload on a portal, and we can get it on our back end. We can see it on our back end. I usually like people when they send it to me via email, but it's also convenient a lot of the times to start the digital application with a lot of these fintech companies. You can upload it online, and again, we can get it on our back end. And then I'll go to work for you. And then monthly versus daily, weekly, biweekly loans and advance. Let me see this. Yeah, advances. I said there. Reality. Sorry, screen sharing's on there. Video there. You guys can learn more. See, I give you guys the truth right there, like key points that I said, especially in that video, like quick points. Like that's gonna break down everything. Trucking industries, like you got to have 50,000 and above. Trucking should also have at least 5+ years and 5+ trucks. Non-US based trucking transportation equals more about 100K plus in annual gross revenue. If trucking 5+ years, trucking is better to be doing 75K to 100K plus per month to get a monthly repayment. If we even consider that, even lines of credit right now are weekly or biweekly, but just keep that in mind. Only monthly SBA, equipment loans, personal / startup loans, lines of credit. Yeah, lines of credit. I was going to say lives of credit, but a few other ones. And that's just the majority of it. And you got to build up to some of these sometimes. Documents needed, application, bank statements, voided check, driver's license, tax return optional. If you're asking for over 150,000, that's another step. Financials, we might ask for year-to-date profit and loss, balance sheet, tax return, A report, AR report, sometimes AP, AR report though, but not always. If you're in the right tier of lender, if it's an A-tier lender, they're not going to always ask for a profit and loss statement or even a tax return. They can just get it done. And you'll know when you know. Trust me, I've had a lot of people going through there and they're just ecstatic about what they're getting. It's incredible. And even if you don't get the best terms and everything, man, what we do for you is exceptional. Again, I wouldn't have done this with anybody else and with the team that I have. Again, I've been in this industry long enough to know. And then you can click there, just some directions. Business lines of credit, I break it down. And we can do this underneath one in-house look. That's why you get a huger advantage. And again, I have those already direct lender partnerships a lot of the time. So we can look at it this way. And there's just some qualifications, alternatives. Do you even qualify for an SBA loan? Let's get real. Monthly repayment, is it the way for you to go? Okay, boom, breaks it down for you. There's even probably a quiz you guys can go see, a video, etc., more content. Okay, some things on bonuses. I'm not going to go into that deeply right now, but there are bonuses. There's some things that come with getting funding, and I'm not going to get into that whole incentivizing thing, but just know it's there. And when you know, you'll know. And it might not be something so apparent, but you'll get it in time. Now, let me move this over and conclude. All right, let me go to the comments. Hey, look who it is. There's a familiar person. How are you doing? I know I've been back and forth with you, commenting and doing a few things I got to get back to, and a few others as well. Appreciate you. Thank you. Likewise. All the best for this new year, 2024 and beyond. Every day, guys, live it like it's your last. That's all I'll say. You're not guaranteed another day. And yeah, like that point you made that you sent me a DM and you filled out the form. Yeah, like I said, again, I get busy sometimes. Like I'm here now. After this, I'm going to take a break and eat. Guys, I haven't had food in my system. Like literally, I'm here helping you guys, but I'm drinking Kirkland water. I'm glad you're finding that, Anthony. When you sit and you actually like listen, and I'm not saying you don't, what I'm saying is to everybody, when you actually sit down and you listen, then these are the words that come across. And you could say to yourself, it's fine, either way. But it does make a lot of sense. And it's not what you learn, it's what you learn and what you do with that. Ultimately, Gerardo, everybody else in here, and those of you who will be watching later, it's not about what you always learn. It's about what you learn and how you use that education and information and take action with that, period. That's it. That action speaks more volumes than your words do. So let your actions speak louder than those words, period. That's the end of it. I don't have to say something. I'm going to say it to myself. I might write it down. I don't have to say it always to verbalize it to everybody. There's a point in time where verbalizing it makes more sense and it's like you're more committed, but say it and put a time implicitly, habitually. Think about it. If I'm thinking about habit stacking and I'm thinking about a habit that I'm going to perform at a certain time, implicitly, I'm saying that I'm going to do a yoga stretch in my bedroom when I wake up around 5 a.m. in the morning. That's better than saying I'm going to wake up in the morning and do a yoga stretch. So are you doing that yoga stretch in your room? Or are you doing it downstairs? Where's it happening? So if you're not accustomed to it, you're going to just bail out and you're going to do that a lot. And that's why I see a lot of people. That's the same reflection that I see in applications. And again, I run multiple businesses as an entrepreneur, not just a business owner, guys. This is why people ask me, are you a coach or are you a financial advisor? I'm not financially advising this. I'm not coaching. I'm not a motivational guru, but I have history with this, with leadership and guiding other people throughout my life. And so if that's what you want to call it, but I'm a consultant as a broker. So just so you guys know this, you guys get the best. All right, everybody. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you did get value, please give it a thumbs up. Share with others who you feel will find value out of it. Complete stranger, friend, or family member. At the end of the day, you know, you can and they can rest their head on their pillow, or they may not be. But in the morning, they'll see it and they'll go, or sometime, and they'll go, oh, thank you, Gerardo. Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for sharing this. That's what they'll be saying in their head. And then the next step is, oh my God. Now this person over here who really cares is actually showing me, point blank, showing me, like, who am I getting this information from? The best, period. And that's not me being cocky. I'm not cocky. I'm confident. I'm certain. That's my way, my attitude, my tonality. And so if I always spoke to you guys like, mi hijo, ven pa acá, or hey, son, come here, or hey, Julie, it's okay. Hey, hi, Gerardo, it's fine. It's okay. All right, let me pat you on the back all the time. No, you guys are kidding me. And I'm a very kind person, again. But there's times and places where that tonality has to come up because you guys need to hear it. Okay, I heard it, and I don't. Okay, you heard it, but what are you doing? You're not doing anything with it, are you? Oh, okay, you are. Dang. Okay, appropriate. What are you doing? Okay, okay. Good. Thanks. No friction, no resistance. Made my work, energy, and time effective. Thank you. And I praise you guys for doing that. When it comes to that time, thank you for making it like seamless. Thank you for making it. I did it for you, but thank you like in return. Oh my God. Like I can go now the next part of my day, spend it consciously and subconsciously well with my family. I have to think about, man, that person just made me age 20, 30 years in this application. And I know how to separate the two, personal and business, but it's like, come on, I don't want to be like there's battles and then there's like being overwhelmed in the battle. That didn't even have to happen. A battle that didn't even have to take place. But because somebody else, a business owner, didn't have their character right, they're all about their reputation. Look at me, I'm doing that, telling that person over there to go fix the fence, and then you get back to your own work. And what are you doing? Do you do the finances? What do you got going on? But I want to see how you demonstrate yourself as a person. Do those employees actually know you outside of the office, out of the field? Or if you have no employees, I have no employees really. It's me. Like I have to have myself accountable and responsible, and regardless of employees or not, that's what you got to do. All right. Yes, please share it with others. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content I will be coming out with. Let's see if I missed anybody. And again, you guys can find me on TikTok as well, Gerardo Anthony Azandes. You guys already know that too. And everybody else in here watching. But I will go in there from time to time. I did it earlier today, so I won't do another one. I have a lot more content to be releasing to you guys. And yes, I'm glad that you did find it make sense to you, Anthony. And let me move this. Abrazos también. Thank you, Gerardo. I don't know why I like to say Gerardo, because the American in me comes out. And that's a testament, because sometimes you know this already, that I'm not always speaking Spanish. So sometimes I say more Americanized. The word just comes out that way. It's when you practice it a lot more and I'm fluent in it. But it's just like who you speak it with. So yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm sending it back right to you, man. And it's a big bear hug too. I know I'm not like big by any means, but I'm giving you that bear hug. I'm not clawing into your back. I'm just gently putting my arms around, man, just giving you a hug. Thank you. And letting you know, man, you're taken care of. And literally, I wish you all the best. And you have a resource who will be in your corner again. And I will go to the right battles and the extent for you, as long as there's some form of reciprocation and we know we're in the right environment, in the right culture. So that's everything for now. Please subscribe, click that bell notification icon again so you do not miss any future content you'll be coming out with. I'll have the description in time. I put a link, I think, in the bio or in the comments already, but I'll have the description done. You should have it already when you're watching this on the replay. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great rest of your afternoon, evening, whatever part of the world you are watching in from. Enjoy it. Make the most of it. Continue working in every single day and be at your best personally and in business. And you're going to be seeing the major difference, not only with me, but in everywhere else. All right, guys, take care. Bye.